You're only subject to what you hold in mind. Welcome to Positive Emotional Healing. This is Roger McDonald. You're only subject to what you hold in mind. A great example of this is if you've ever seen or heard of the movie Apocalypse Now. It's a movie about Vietnam. The main actor is Martin Sheen. Now, Martin Sheen is a great method actor. So what he did was he got so much into the role where he plays an assassin that he actually got really sick. He became so sick that he was near death. They had to get a helicopter and take him from set to the nearest hospital. And as they're wheeling him into the hospital, he's barely living. It's like he's going to die, and things look like they're really grim for him. His wife was there with him, and she grabbed him, she shook him, and she said, "Babe, it's only a movie." She grabbed him and she shook him, and she said, "Babe, it's only a movie." And in that moment, he snapped out of his trance. He snapped out of the intense kind of method emotional acting that he was involved in, where he believed he was the character. And his vital signs started to improve. He recovered, and after a little bit of time in hospital, he went back to making the movie. Actors experience that where they sometimes get too much into their emotion or into the roles they're playing, or singers where they start to inhabit the emotions and lyrics of the songs they sing. If you've ever noted about singers, a lot of singers committing suicide over the years, performing artists, because they're continually rehatching and rehearsing and putting out song lyrics which are kind of negative. They're kind of about loss and sadness and breakups and negativity. Have you noticed that happens to a lot of singers? I mean, you can just Google singers who have committed suicide. You'll get a long list in both recent times and throughout the heydays of musical history in the 70s and 80s and 90s and to now. You're only subject to what you hold in mind. How is this relevant to you right now? Obviously, with the whole worldwide, I'm not even going to mention it because I don't want to talk about the worldwide malaise about what's going on. The media is always trying to interject, like watching YouTube. They'll interject news about it, even though you don't want to know about it. You kind of might have said to yourself, I want to switch off from it. But then again, you've got people talking about it. You've got the newspapers going on about it. When you're walking out, you might see the newspaper headline cover, a newspaper on the table. You got videos, you got the news. So it's important to be able to detach from all that, because if you're, remember in the last video where I talked about the media circus is not your friend. If you haven't watched that one, go watch that other video, the media circus is not your friend. It's important to detach and to be able to hold in mind what you want to hold in mind. Yes, it's good to be aware of what's going on in the world. If there's an earthquake, yes, you've got to be aware of an earthquake. There's a bushfire, yes, it's important to be aware of the bushfire. Yeah, if there is an economic collapse, yes, you've got to be aware of an economic collapse. But to be continually reminded of it every moment of the day and to dwell on it day in, day out, minute in, minute out, is not good for your health. Because like that actor in that movie, you're only subject to what you hold in mind. So if you hold in mind a depressing image, it's going to make you feel bad. Now, I want you to think of an image right now. Let's just do it right now, just for the sake of argument. I want you to think of a most depressing, sad image you can think of in your mind and hold it in your mind. It might be a war-torn picture, a picture about war. It might be a picture of someone starving in Ethiopia. It might be a picture of a car accident. Hold that picture in mind, and over time, and just really focus on it, and notice how you feel. Notice how it starts to make you feel sad. It might even make your heart race a bit further, a bit more. It might make you sort of on edge and anxious and afraid, depressed. You might even feel a bit guilty. So you're only subject to what you hold in mind. If you hold in mind negative images or negative movies in your head, they're going to make you feel bad. They're going to make you feel negative. They're going to make you, and eventually, remember what I said about if you're too negative, you're too focused on the negative, if you're too focused on, you're triggering your body into fight, flight, freeze mode, into survival mode. Your body starts releasing adrenaline and cortisol and gets ready to fight someone or to run away from someone or something, or to freeze. You become numb and dumb. You're paralyzed with fear. You're only subject to what you hold in mind. So it's important to take charge of what you're holding in your mind. And it's your choice. I mean, maybe I'm not saying don't watch the news. I'm not saying don't watch the updates of all the latest disasters that are going on around the world. What I'm saying is, all that stuff is always going to be there. And for your own peace of mind and sanity, you can selectively choose what you choose to focus your mind on. Now, let me ask you, when are you at your best? Are you at your best when you're afraid and anxious and paranoid and depressed? Or are you at your best when you're relaxed, calm, peaceful, in a good frame of mind, ready to act, poised, empowered, strong? Which of those states do you prefer? Well, the key to each of those states is what you hold in your mind, what you're picturing in your mind about yourself, about other people, about things, about places. Your strength and your power increases by what you hold in your mind. Thanks for watching. This is Roger McDonald from Positive Emotional Healing. Have a fantastic day.